All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Complexity Casting. I'm your casting host, Beef, bringing you more HoN Tour action. Cycle 3 is the winners' semifinals. We got TteS eSports taking on Trademark eSports in a best-of-3 series. One of these two teams is going to be going to the winners' finals to have a shot at going to the grand finals without even having to drop into the lower bracket. And one of these teams, well, they're going to have to fight their way down through that lower bracket, join up with some other strong teams down there like One Trick Pony and Q Squad. They're still fighting through, but we will have to see. Unfortunately, we did have some delays getting into this game. Ravis has been having some internet connections, something about a router problem, something about a tree hitting his house. I don't even know what was going on there, but it was a pretty dang long break that we had. As we have an interesting lock pool coming out already. I was talking with these teams right beforehand, and I do believe they agreed to auto ban Jeraziah. I'm not exactly sure what is up with that, but that is what they actually agreed to. And so Jeraziah not going to be making his way into this game. In addition to Jeraziah, though, Parasite, Fade, Tremble, and Plague Rider are in fact your auto bans, or your blind bans, excuse me. So, of course, getting rid of strong suicide potential of the Plague Rider. The Hellborn team choosing to ban out Tremble. TteS has had some rumblings about that hero lately, and not going to be able to use him this time. Fade and Parasite, the strong gankers, being banned out by TteS. Really just wants to make sure that Noob G, Minuts, is not able to get his hands on that Parasite. So, not going to happen this time. Now, the lock pool that I was talking about, 6 junglers. You can see it right there. Leon Black saying lockpick's kind of cool, I guess. That is strange. This is very strange. So, both of these teams are going to have 2 junglers, essentially. What it's going to come down to, one team is going to pick Wild Soul, and one team is going to pick the Wild Soul and Keeper of the Forest. Tempest might get in there somehow as a suicide, but those two will be suiciding, and then they'll run one of the other 4 here as a jungle itself. But let's take a look at the individual heroes. Tempest, Keeper of the Forest, Wild Soul, Ophelia, War Beast, and Legionnaire. So there are your 6 junglers that make it into the lock pool. Of course, there is one more. Who am I missing here? I can't think of it right now, but there's typically 7 junglers. I guess you could throw Cthulhu Font in there. I still feel like I'm missing one more, and I can't think about it right now. But, well, those are going to be in the lock pool. Going into the banning phase, looks like we're going to be having Silhouette as well as Zephyr Pebbles being banned out by the TteS team. With those heroes being removed, the strong carry potential of Silhouette and Zephyr, well, not going to be seeing some strong push coming out in that respect. On the other side, though, tdM bans out Tundra, Meraxis, and Demented Shaman. So getting rid of the DS. The bird is gone as well. Neither of these teams going to get heavy pushed in that respect. But DS just, he combines with so many great pushing heroes to actually just do a fantastic job of pushing. You throw him with a Balfagor or a bird, and you can just push all day long. And Meraxis and Tundra, getting rid of those 2 initiating type heroes. Somebody that can play in the mid lane. No more. I guess White's saying that's what happens when both your drafters play jungles. They want to get as many as they can into the locks, but there you go. First pick out of TteS, they go with Aluna. So one of Leon Black's favorite heroes. Of course, the strong versatility of that hero is what makes her first pick potential. Able to play support, able to play a carry or a semi-ganker role. And, well, that's what they're going to be going for. On the other side, though, Draconis makes it through the banning stage, and Dark Lady is up there as well as Moon Queen, but going for Draconis and Engineer as well. So getting a strong support, and of course their hard carry out of the way nice and early. Magnus, Forsaken, Archer are the response by the TteS team. So getting their point stunner, their mid lane, Aluna and Magnus, that's set up. They could go for another support as well if they're not going to be running a jungler. Just kidding. There's nothing but junglers in the lock pool. So that's what they're going to be running. Got to add 2 jungles into that. And their carry is actually going to be Forsaken Archer. So going with FA instead of somebody like the Moon Queen, who's been a little bit more prevalent in the past couple of months. Going with FA, she of course does farm very well and can start to hit hard, very, very hard with items, but doesn't have the mobility of a Silhouette and doesn't have the raw damage output of a Draconis in those late game team fights, the late game situations. So interesting. She does have some serious level 6 potential and a great pushing potential though. So that's one nice thing to look at. Trademark finishes out their standard picks with Rally grabbing their initiator ganker right there. And we already just blowing through the lock picking phase. First pick, Keeper of the Forest, responded with Wild Soul Ophelia. So one team gets Wild Soul, one team gets Keeper of the Forest. That's just the way that it has to be for both of these teams. And then Ophelia is actually the pick there for TDM. So Minut's going to be playing the Ophelia. We got Zai on the Wild Soul. Going to expect Insania on the Engineer, Noob G on Draconis, and Limp going to be playing Rally. And indeed, that is what they have everything readied up as. And so Tempest will make it into the TTE's pool for White. He's going to go ahead and pick that up momentarily. And so there you have it. Going with the Suicide Wild Soul and Suicide Keeper of the Forest, plus one jungle for each team. Well, that's how you deal with 6 jungles in the lock pool. The TTE's team consists of White on Tempest. You got Riser playing Keeper of the Forest. Going to be doing the Suicide thing. Moravis is going to be on Magnus. We have Enzo going to be playing the Forsaken Archer. And Leon Black going to do a support thing on Aluna. So that is how it's going to add up. Look at this Forsaken Archer avatar. This is one of the newer ones. And I don't know what I think of it yet. I'm still not quite sure if I like it or not. It's just this goblin looking thing with a big golden bow. It's just kind of weird looking, but nah, not quite sure. Magnus and Aluna are going to be making their way up into the top lane for now. I certainly wouldn't expect them to be laning there. I most certainly expect them to be laning mid, but okay, Riser is actually going to play short lane. So this is very, very interesting. FA is going to play mid. This is a big deviation, like a big deviation from the norm, and I don't like it. I think that putting your keeper in the suicide role, that he should be able to do okay against Draconis. He's going to be able to get maybe 200, 250 gold per minute in that lane, and more importantly, he shouldn't be dying up there to an Ophelia that's going to be ganking, because they kind of expect Ophelia to be down there, up there, excuse me. What they might have been scared about, they might have actually been scared about an offensive tri-lane. If you had put Engineer with Rally and then Ophelia in the offensive jungle, then having Keeper of the Forest over here in the jungle would have been the proper decision. But as that's not going to happen, I think TDM is definitely going to get the better end of this stick, as Engineer is going to be teaming up with Rally in the middle lane. They should be able to beat Forsaken Archer very easily. In the bottom lane, Wild Soul and Keeper of the Forest going to be going one-on-one. That's probably going to be split pretty even. And then Draconis up here in the top lane going to be going 1 versus 2 against Magnus and Aluna. But with Ophelia coming in, I really do feel like Draconis has a real strong shot at actually winning this lane. He's certainly going to get strong levels, and as long as he's able to out-level the opposing team and get some nice early items, I think that he's going to be able to hold his own against this Magnus and Aluna, especially if Aluna's trying to come over here and actually do a little bit of roaming like she is. Look at that. Draconis is just able to get these last hits. He is going to push the lane pretty hard. That's one just kind of unfortunate byproduct, as Engineer goes in for a roam right there, but in the end will not quite be able to land the spells that he needs. So this means that Forsaken Archer is going to be left one-on-one against Rally, and I don't like this decision. Maybe if they're doing this just for a level or two, and Engineer's actually going to roam back up to the top river and get the 2-minute rune, then move back into mid, maybe that could be okay. Just buying level 2, maybe level 3 for Draconis and allowing him to get that Ring of the Teacher up, maybe a Mystic Vestments, something along those lines. Then that could be nice, but as it looks right now, Ophelia might be coming in for a gank on Forsaken Archer. The level 2 Compel with the battle experience will be able to do a significant amount of damage, but no. Ophelia will make her way back into her own jungle, and so just going to resume in that fashion. So I don't know. These are kind of odd lanes. Kind of odd lanes indeed. And Keeper of the Forest taking a lot of pressure over here in the bottom lane as a nice root came out of Wild Soul. You can see right there, Draconis with 33% of the damage done so far in this game. And Keeper of the Forest taking a lot of pressure here from Wild Soul as well. 2 players making up over 50% of the damage done thus far 2 minutes into the game. They're doing a good job of making sure to harass the opponents in their lane. Double damage spawns up in the top river, and Engineer not going for it yet. Ophelia might be going for it at some point here, but neither team has a bottle. There we go. Rally now does have that bottle, but Aluna will be able to spot out that double damage. She's going to be able to pick it up, and so I really would have preferred that Engineer actually go grab that top rune and then just make sure that he was able to get back into roaming position, because with FA right here, she should be able to actually not crush, but do very, very well against this rally. And that's not what you want to have happen. If you're going to have a one-on-one, you want the one-on-one that you're going to be able to win. And Draconis versus Magnus Aluna, you should be able to do all right up there. And the Engineer rally lane, as Compel does come out right there, the Engineer rally lane should be able to crush this Forsaken Archer. So I really disagree with tdM's choices right now. They do bring the Engineer back, though, once Aluna has started to rotate, and so this is in tdM's favor now. Reason being that they're going to be able to split, if not win, the middle lane, and then Draconis should be getting pretty much free farm up top against this Magnus that is a little bit under-leveled when you compare it. So this is working out for tdM just fine. In the bottom lane, Zai doing well there. He's currently 17-2 as opposed to a 16-3 Keeper of the Forest. So Keeper's doing okay as well. And as the levels do go up, I believe that Keeper will actually start to do even better. Starting to level up that Nature's Veil. Gets it up to level 4, and he will be in a pretty good position. Now, this is kind of the X factor here, is Ophelia versus Tempest. But as you can see, I mean, White, a very, very strong jungler, and Tempest, probably the strongest farming jungle hero. Already at 310 gold per minute, already hitting level 6. He's going to be able to come over and kill Wild Soul here really whenever he wants to, but Zai doing a great job of actually taking his opponent's jungle, knowing that he has the possibility to do that, and it's also making sure that he's not being ganked. So I do really like that as well. 5 minutes in, no kills happening just yet. No real aggression to speak of either, as these are some kind of passive teams. And of course you have your Magnus and your Forsaken Archer. They're going to be looking for some kills eventually. You line up a couple of those spells with the piercing arrows, and you can be putting out a ton of damage. Ophelia would like to be looking for a gank as well, but so far just not finding anything. Tempest, 5 minutes in, has finished up his Ring of the Teacher, and Wild Soul staying super far back. This Ward of Sight did spot Tempest coming over in this position, as in the middle lane, Compel comes out, and Forsaken Archer taking some damage. She does summon these skeletal minions, which are little monkeys? Yeah, they're little monkeys. So how about that? Reminds me of the Wizard of Oz. As, well, Rally is able to get the kill. I looked at the monkeys, moved away for 5 seconds, and Rally gets the kill. The Compel Seismic Slam being used right there, and that is the Bloodlust. So pull the break, you guys. I'm sorry, I don't miss the Bloodlust too often, but that one happened real damn fast. As well played by Limp there to be able to get that one, bringing his team back to even with experience, and well, about 1,000 ahead in terms of gold, but maybe not for long, as Ophelia's waiting for a creep, hoping that she's going to be able to push down this top tower. Magnus and Aluna not going to really have a whole lot to say about that, but, well, where is Tempest? Oh, he's right there. He was blending in. Okay, that's nice. I love Ice. He's just like chilling right there, and I can't see him at all. So the top tower taking some pressure as well. Draconis Engineer and Ophelia starting to work on that one, while the bottom is being pressured heavily by Keeper of the Forest. And, oh, a nice deny right there by Zai. He's going to lose his bear for it, and does fall in favor of Tempest. But they're going to be going for 2. The teacher going to be able to keep them up nice and high on mana. Top tower is in some trouble as well, but another good deny right there. Leon Block able to get the deny on that, so both of these long lane towers denied. But it looks like the Legion team might be able to easily take 2 here, whereas the Helmborn team, not so likely for them. Combining Tempest and Keeper of the Forest into the same lane against somebody with such little anti-push potential as a Wild Soul, it's almost as bad as a Plague Rider. But it will appear that the second tier tower will be going down. Can Zai get a second big deny right here? No, not going to be able to. White is able to secure that kill, and I'm surprised that they did not use their ults right there. With the minions being spawned out, I think they might have been able to get a kill onto Wild Soul if they had used the Elemental Void and the Root. But choosing not to use those just yet. It's kind of strange that in a second here, there's going to be 4 times as many tower kills as there have been hero kills in this game, as the middle tower is going to be going down in favor of Trademark eSports. The fortification comes in. What's the TteS team going to do? Nothing. Just kind of wasting that glyph a little bit there. But 8 minutes in, 4 towers down, 2 for each team. A tier 2 in the bottom lane does certainly favor TteS. And they do find themselves up a little bit in experience, but down a little bit in gold. So game very, very much so even. Rally farming 400 gold per minute, does find a haste, and Luna's in some trouble. Seismic Slam, and the auto attacks do finish her off. Well, Rally could be in some trouble. Glacial Blast going to be coming out. Haste on Rally, though, and he will be able to escape. A little bit strange that Tempest didn't go for the Elemental Void right there. I really do feel like he could have caught Rally and finished off the kill, which would have been very, very big for TteS. Unfortunately, though, not quite able to. And Limp takes his second kill and is able to escape. Now that this bottom lane is pushed up rather significantly, Wild Soul should be able to free farm this, static farm it if he wants to. But it looks like he's not going to be static farming it, instead opting to just power farm it and actually push it out a little bit so that he might be able to get a push mounted down there. Right now, the Trademark team, they don't really have a choice other than to counter push. They don't really have the early game presence on their heroes to actually stop a push. And Rally and Engineer are great, but Wild Soul and Ophelia are terrible heroes for stopping a push for the most part. As Rally, well, he's being surrounded on a couple sides right here. Limp's going to have to be pretty careful. But he is tanky, 1200 life with that Beast Heart, and does have Ghost Marchers to actually give him some increased mobility as well. But this is what I'm talking about. Zai needed to start a counter push because they know they can't defend this middle tower. Need to try to trade it. And in fact, Zai should be able to trade that, as bottom tower goes in favor of the 15-year-old. And Lava Surge onto Ophelia right there. No follow-up, though. The boots on Tempest not really allowing them to get too far. And they're going to be able to get a couple of minions. No, a nice judgment right there from Ophelia. Sends that creep home. And, well, that was an interesting compel there on Rally. Actually compelling an illusion. That kind of weirded me out. And it certainly scared the TteS team a little bit. Just saying, oh, okay, what? Rally's in now? I was even able to tell it was an illusion, but I was still confused. Cronus aggressively farming right now. Really super far up here as Ravis is able to secure a couple of kills in the bottom lane on some creeps, and more importantly, one on Boo Boo, just trying to make sure that the push is not hitting him too hard. Noob G on the Dragon, certainly farming well. 348 gold per minute as opposed to the 285 gold per minute of Enzo. Just really not able to find the farm that he's looking for in his lane. It's been pushed up for quite some time. And then mid has just been well, there's been a lot of people over there. You don't want to be at level 7 Forsaken Archer hanging out in the mid lane with 4 people, unless the 4 people are on your side. Of course, they were not, so had to get out of there, and just hasn't really been able to find his farm yet. He's at the bottom of this 300 gold per minute pack here for TteS. Keeper of the Forest, Tempest, and Magnus leading the charge. It's not a bad thing at all. Magnus being able to sustain 300 gold per minute is actually a pretty good thing. Going to be able to get the core items that he needs, his Steam Boots, his Mystic Vestments, and Power Supply. Is what he's chosen to go with for his core. And then starting to work on his portal, currently about halfway done at 1100 gold. Rally finishes up his Helm of the Black Legion. It's going to allow him to use the Compel to actually get into team fights relatively easily and then stay alive. That's the real big thing, as Draconis spots out Keeper of the Forest, and Riser will have to just back up a little bit. I heard an Energizer, and yes, Forsaken Archer choosing to go Energizer first. Now, this is a very interesting choice here by Enzo. The item costs what, 1400? Yeah, 1430. And it gives you 10 agility, as well as 7 to both your other stats, 10 base movement speed, and the activatable movement speed burst with phasing. So it allows Forsaken Archer to actually go Steam Boots and still have the phasing effect from Ghost Marchers. And so that's nice to have, certainly. Adding that increased mobility, it's almost like a smaller Firebrand, kind of. Like 800 gold cheaper than a Firebrand, but it gives you some agility, it gives you some movement speed. It doesn't have the attack speed, as Tom Tower goes down there in favor of TteS. Trademark once again going to go for a trade, though. That's their trademark thing, is to trade. Middle tower will fall. TteS not going to be stopping just yet. They've called up the train. So I don't know. I'm not sure if I like the Energizer, as neither team is choosing to stop right now. tdM going to start putting pressure 14 minutes into the game. They're pressuring the middle base. They take down the 5th tower there in the bottom lane as well. And players from TteS are going to have to start TPing back. Doesn't even look like they're going to be able to take the tower in the top lane for now. It's going to go into deny range really soon here. And Hasted Rally actually going to find Aluna. Aluna's in some serious trouble. Well, she hits the Deafening Roar right there. Some auto attacks coming in as well. She's got a nice juke there. She is interrupted with a nice keg, though. Uses the power throw to actually secure a kill onto the bear. And will end up falling, though, in the end. As that tower is denied, tower score at 14 minutes in. Now 3-3. Magnus trying to get a kill onto some creeps. There's the Glacial Blast, and that Minotaur should be going down. There's an Invis rune there as well. I'm sure someone will pick that up. There we go. Tempest is going to grab that, and we'll see if Tempest might be able to set up a very nice Elemental Void out of Invis. These teams are both very comfortable with each other and just happy to be playing. I do have to give a shout out, as Limp actually gets a kill here to Ravis. Gonna be walking right by Aluna. There's the Emerald Lightning. Glacial Blast come out. The pin, and there's the Piercing Arrows as well. Limp's Ultimate Warrior Streak comes to an end. Cut short by Leon Black on Aluna. So able to get 350 gold bounty for taking out the rally. But I do have to actually commend tdM. In the process of setting up this game, Moravis was having a lot of internet issues. Let's actually make sure that Moravis' internet is fine. Yeah, 138 ms. That's perfectly acceptable limits. But Moravis was having some serious internet issues, and tdM was given the opportunity to forfeit the opportunity to take a forfeit win, with Moravis just not showing up in time. The lobby was closed, and tdM said, no, we're not only we're gonna not take the forfeit win right now, we're gonna give you more time. They gave him an additional half an hour or so to try to get Moravis on today, so an additional hour in total from the 30 extra minutes that you get from the HoN Tour client, and then an extra like 30-40 minutes from there. And then they even said, oh, actually, Forsaken Archer in some trouble perhaps in the bottom lane. The Compel is coming out. Forsaken Archer able to get out of there with the Energizer and the Nature's Veil. But even on top of that, Minot said, you know what? Even if you guys aren't able to get him on right now, like with 15 minutes left, they said, even if you're not able to get him on right now, we'll reschedule and we'll get it played this week. They really did want to get this game played, so great manners shown there by the tdM crew as Rally picks up a portal key. So how about that? Get about battle up this double damage, and with that double damage, we'll be able to, well, probably kill somebody pretty dang fast. Level 11 Rally versus somebody like a level 9 Tempest or a level 6 Aluna, even a level 10 Forsaken Archer, certainly should favor Rally. So we'll see if he's able to put that portal key and the double damage to good use here real soon. TTEs, they're playing real scared though. They don't have really any vision on their side of the map. That's actually not true. There's a ward right here, and there's one up here that they were using to cover their push up into the top lane. But in this area, there's just no vision. In this area, there's no vision, so they're scared to go into that side of their jungle. So portal key Lava Surge there onto Engineer. There's a power throw. Keg, well played though, and the Ophelia's gift goes out. There's a Dragon Flame onto Magnus. Not going to be using the Minotaur stun just yet, and looks like the TTE's team will be falling back. Aluna wants to go for it. A power throw right there. Oh, Rally comes in, misses the compel. Emerald Lightning comes out. There's the pin. Lava Surge onto 3. Piercing arrows are going out. Elemental Void catches Ophelia. Rally goes down. Eruption being channeled on Magnus in his own filth. Only hitting that Archer. Almost gets a Minotaur, but a nice Minotaur stun. Going to be able to save him for now. Another piercing arrow goes out onto Boo Boo, who has finished up that Mocker Brilliance for some time. Dragon in the front lines. Going to be doing his Blazing Plate thing. Uses the Dragon Flame. Energizer goes in. Tree comes in with a 3-man root right there. They catch Ophelia. Ophelia goes down. Lava Surge onto Engineer. Steam Bath going to be doing a lot of damage. Power Throw connects. Engineer goes down. And TTE's taking a fight right here. Boo Boo goes down as well. Now Wild Soul might be in some trouble. Lava Surge is available. And Magnus goes in right there. Wild Soul takes the Lava Surge. Glacial Blast go out. And Zai takes a fall as well. Draconis is the last one up. Is he going to take a fight? No. And just like that, TTE's takes a 4-0 fight, killing everybody but the dragon, and all of a sudden, back in their lead is the experience and gold advantage, up 500 gold and 3,000 experience at 19 minutes in. Will they be able to knock down the last remaining outer tower? Well, it's a possibility. Tower going to be taking some pressure now from the animated trees and the elementals, but the actual players themselves back up pretty far. Portal Key comes in from Rally, wants to be able to get a compel kill onto somebody. They're actually looking for Magnus over here. They find Aluna though. Aluna with a nice Emerald Lightning, going to be able to save herself for now. The compel missed, and Rally does get hit by the pin, so he's not able to get out of there. A nice crippling volley from Enzo. He's going to be able to go up now though, compel up in 1 second, and does get Forsaken Archer this time. Seismic Slam. No, Glacial Blast going to be able to save his teammate. Another crippling volley as Rally's just got to have holes all through his body right now with the amount of crippling volleys that he's taken. Just arrows falling from the sky. And tdM chasing very, very far there. Knew that Root was on cooldown, as was the Elemental Void though. And, well, knew that they weren't in too much danger. As we saw in that fight, a few portal keys being picked up, one notably on Magnus. Moravis finishing up his Steam Boots as well as that portal key. I think he's had the Steam Boots actually. Already talked about that as part of his core, but the portal key being added as they're going to try to go on to Boo Boo. Not going to be doing that just yet. Tree picks up a portal key in addition to Plated Greaves and an Astrolabe. White's actually the top farmer on his team on the Keeper of the Forest. And with another 1,200 gold saved up, we'll see what he's going to be going for. As looks like Ophelia is going to be in some trouble, perhaps. No root being used just yet, though. Keeper of the Forest wanted to get that kill. Wasn't willing to use the root. Wasn't sure if the root was going to connect. And so held on to it. Not a bad decision. Would have been nice to get the kill, but an unsure thing for sure. So Tree, we'll see what he goes for next. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like a Barrier Idol coming out next, or maybe they might even start working on a refresher world. We'll have to see though. Draconis has finished up his Nullstone for quite a time now. 2,300 gold saved up, so we'll see if he starts to build his next big item, whether that might be a Shrunken Head or perhaps going for an early Savage Mace or Whispering Helm. Oh, Magnus charging up the Eruption right here. Lava Surge is going to be able to do a lot of damage to Wild Soul. Piercing shards, or piercing arrows go out, and Wild Soul will take the fall. Tornado from Ophelia going to be coming in, deactivating some portal keys. But Magnus says, hey, I'm going to find you. There's the Lava Surge onto Ophelia. Crippling volley as well. Compel going to be able to stun a couple. Ophelia will go down. Dragon in the middle of it. Activates the Cataclysmic Assault. Moravis goes down on the Magnus. Rally in some trouble. Piercing volley goes out. Elemental Void going to catch Draconis as well. There's the auto attacks. Turret trying to push everybody back, but Noob G's going to take a fall. And TteS getting some team fights going on right now. Able to take out 4 once more. The support player there in Insania is the only one left standing. And they're going to be able to finish off the 6th and last remaining outer tower. Up now in 2,800 gold, 7,200 experience. With Rally down for 30 seconds and Jonas down for close to 40. Looks like the TteS team is going to start putting out a lot of pressure here onto this defensive tower. They might even be able to take a Rax here. The good fortification does go up, and no, Boo Boo is back up now with his Mock of Brilliance and his Soul's Bulwark, and they will be able to drive back. So maybe getting a little bit too excited as they do have to fall back with only knocking the tower down to a little more than half life. But the TteS team, they've taken some fantastic team fights. Forsaken Archer up to 400 gold per minute now. Just a little bit below Draconis, but might even be able to break that barrier in just a second. Picks up a Slayer after that Firebrand, so going for straight damage. No defensive item whatsoever yet from Enzo. Just wants to be able to put out massive amounts of damage, and you know what? When you have as many lockdown abilities as you have in this Legion team, I can agree with you. Going with that Tempest, the Magnus, and the Keeper of the Forest, you don't need to really worry too much about being caught out in these team fights. You have to worry about being caught out and being ganked for sure, but a Geometer's Maiden and a Shrunken Head aren't something that you really want to defend with from being caught out and ganked. You want wards, you want good vision, you want good positioning, but to really succeed in these team fights, Forsaken Archer is going to need a ton of damage, so that's what she's going to be going for here. Magnus finishes up his push stick, and Keeper of the Forest finishes up a Shaman's Headdress. So he's now about, what is it, about 1,000 gold away from finishing up his barrier idol, if that is what he's going for. And I'd be very happy with seeing that item on him. Be able to defend against some of the magic damage from Draconis, some of the magic damage as they do catch Draconis right here. Keeper of the Forest ultimate combining with Magnus right there, and down goes Noob G. So very well done. Looks like he was just caught a little bit out of position. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, Noob G's going for a Shrunken Head, but would it have saved him in that position? Maybe. The Lava Surge right there after the channel and the Eruption. Still going to be taking a lot of damage from that, and then the root right afterward. He would have had to have timed it perfectly to get out of the root while still taking minimal damage from everything else. As Lava Surge, no Lava Surge. There it is. They catch Wild Soul out for now. Emerald Lightning needs an Emerald Lightning. The bear going to be coming back. Deja Vu being activated, and Aluna's not able to close the distance yet. Another, well, there's the Glacial Blast. Zai is in some trouble. Power Throw connects, and Wild Soul is going to be in some serious trouble. Lava Surge right there, and down goes Zai. So TteS is just taking so many kills. I mean, this was the last kill right here, but in the last 10 minutes, they've only lost one player, and they've taken about 10 hero kills. So certainly turning this game around from where they were down early. And now it's going to be up to them where they're going to take this game. Do they want to turtle it out? Do they want to try to resource control their opponents? Or do they want to finish it off right now? I think that they need to get a Savage Mace up ASAP on Forsaken Archer. That's 500 gold off if she does choose to go that route. I think they need to get level 16 on Forsaken Archer. And hopefully level 16 on their Magnus and their Keeper of the Forest. And then I think they need to push. The Forsaken Archer able to pound in auto attacks from the low ground with the Savage Mace onto those towers. True Strike, no miss. And with the barrier idol that Keeper of the Forest just finished, I think that they have a very good shot at being able to take some extremely successful team fights and being able to push down those towers very, very easily, just because they're going to force their opponent's hands. They're not going to be able to get good initiations, so they're going to force the initiation by actually just sitting there and attacking the towers until someone comes out and says, "Stop that, please, stop that." And, well, when they do, Tempest has now got a shrunken head to complement his level 2 ultimate, so White could be looking for a very, very big ultimate. I think I called Riser White earlier, by the way, when I said that Keeper of the Forest was the top farmer in the game. I always forget when there's two junglers in the game. I can get them confused sometimes. With the Warhammer now picked up, Forsaken Archer, 150 gold off of finishing up her Savage Mace, and that she's going to be able to easily find that up here in the top lane. And there she has it. She'll purchase that in just a moment. Savage Mace, of course, is going to be extremely, extremely nice to have. And Illusion's walking through the Legion jungle now. Engineer perhaps looking for a little bit of counter warding, maybe to catch somebody out, but not quite able to. Wild Soul has had a Soul's Bulwark on his bear for a little while now. As, well, they're going to look for the Lava Surge. They find Draconis. Glacial Blast. There's the Shrunken Head being activated, though. Keeper of the Forest needs to hit that root. He doesn't use the root just yet. So, that's a little bit unfortunate. They might have been able to get the kill there. Maybe not. That was a 10-second Shrunken Head. But forcing that to be used, they can certainly start to walk up and pound some damage into this tower. Should be able to actually take down the tower pretty easily. If you think about the amount of initiation that this Hellborn team has, it's really Rally, and that's it. And he has to commit pretty heavily to actually going in there with the initiation. Tornado coming in from mine, that's going to be able to do a little bit of anti-push, but, well, they're going to be able to stun the Vulture Lord and take that out relatively soon. Second wave of creeps is coming in now, and Forsaken Archer is going to be able to clean everything up. Anti-push from tdM, though, is pretty strong, although now Forsaken Archer going to be able to pound in a lot of attacks. There's the barrier idol, so where's the initiation going to be coming in from tdM? Okay, there's the glyph. They're not going to initiate just yet. Nope, there they are. Compel on to Keeper of the Forest. Keeper will just back on up, though, not too worried. Should be able to just walk over and grab a health potion from the Observatory if that's what they want to do. Instead, just going to use that Astrolabe and make sure that everybody's armored up. Red Emerald Lightning available here for Luna. Instead, she's going to use it to do... did she Power Throw? I guess she did Power Throw. I just didn't see it for some reason. Barrier Idol up in 20 seconds along with Astrolabe. And that's when you're going to look for a big push here. The bear coming around for a flank. Is it going around for a flank, or is it looking for a push in the bottom lane, perhaps? Not quite sure what the bear was doing, but the bear is going to be the big thing here for the tdM team. It's a great turtle tool, and TTE is actually choosing to back up now. Maybe looking for this bottom rune, looking to take their opponent's Ancients. If they grabbed that double damage up top, though, on Forsaken Archer, they would be in a fantastic position to just knock down that tower and take a Rax. I don't think tdM would be able to engage into that, and they're not going to be choosing to do that just yet. Instead, choosing to take some Ancients. They're able to grab all of them, use the Energizer to get out of there. Draconis is making his way for that double damage, though, and a double damage Draconis is bad news in shoes for the TTE's team. That's 45 seconds of not being able to engage the enemy team, but Draconis is just a little bit too scared, wants to wait for the rest of his team to get there, and wants to actually wait for Rally to bottle up the double damage. So a little bit of a blunder from the TTE's team. I think this Ward of Sight actually does not see that rune, which is really unfortunate. Typically you place it in this location, like right here, and it's able to get good vision all the way across to that. And so maybe they thought that there was no rune up there. As a result, weren't able to grab it. Kongor now being attempted by the TTE's team. Going down relatively fast, but the double damage is still bottled up for Rally. If he's able to get that to Draconis, tdM could take a very, very big team fight here. And Magnus off to the side. Perhaps looking for a good initiation, but the tdM team unaware Conqueror will go down. Forsaken Archer able to pick up that token of life, and now starting to look even more fearsome. Cliff Fortification should still be down, and now with the Barrier Idol available, all the ults available, and the token of life, TteS is going to commit to slow pushing this Rax. This is what they need to do. Slow pushing is their best option right now. They're going to wait for his spells to be spammed out, and then they're going to send in the animated trees and the minions. FA going to be pounding an auto attacks from the bottom. There's a compel on the Forsaken Archer. Has to push back. Maravis is pushed back as well. Astrolabe going off from Keeper of the Forest. Wants to keep everybody as high as possible. There's the Barrier Idol. And this should be a time to knock down this tower. But no, Rally's up in the front line. Nice Emerald Lightning. Tower's still not going to be going down. Taking a few more auto attacks. They might have to use the token here. Forsaken Archer's in some trouble. In goes Magnus. Only Lava Surge 1. He's going to be able to connect. The Eruption not so good. And Maravis goes down right there. TteS needs to get out of there right now. Forsaken Archer is going to die. Token of Life will bring her back up in a second. They honestly might need to leave Forsaken Archer for dead. No, they're not going to. The Nature's Veil is there. No vision. And now they're going to turn it around onto Rally, perhaps. Maravis is back. He's bought back. Shrunken Head activated. And Rally is able to get out of there. The Bear now going to be the brunt of the focus of their attention. And the Bear going to take a lot of damage. Energizer going off. And now it's time for take 2. Shrunken Head not available from Rally. No token of life, though, on Forsaken Archer either. This tower's getting very low, and the Barrier Idol's up. Need a few auto attacks from Forsaken Archer. A nice Emerald Lightning in the backfield, but still no damage coming in from Forsaken Archer. She's so scared. Tower goes down. Great job baiting out the Compel. Boo Boo is going to go down, and Wild Soul able to resummon him immediately. TteS looks like they're going to fall back. They know that they've taken down the tower. They know they don't have the Astrolabe and the Barrier Idol available right away, and those are the key elements to this push. Token of Life would be nice, but they're just not going to wait another 7 minutes to try to get another Token of Life. Instead, Geometer's being shipped out here. Perhaps if they can bait something like a Compel onto a Forsaken Archer Illusion, that might be their time to go in. I tell you what, though, Maravis is going to need better initiation than he had in the last fight. Channeling up that Eruption and then hitting Engineer, of all players, and not even killing Engineer with the Eruption Lava Surge is just not going to cut it. He needs to hit Lava Surges on multiple opponents and then worry about the Eruption. Emerald Lightning going to be connecting once again in a power throw. We'll be able to back up the Homeborn team, but this is a good old-fashioned Mexican showdown. Both teams just looking for an opportunity, an opening in their opponent's armor, an opening in their defenses, and once again the Tornado going to be coming in, trying to do something. Barrier Idol goes up. Lava Surge onto the Bear. If they can get the Bear, Compel comes in. Seismic Slant onto 2 players right there. Elemental Void only going to be catching Rally, channeling up the ultimate. Going to be able to catch Ophelia. No Lava Surge just yet. And in the front lines, Illusion going to be taking some damage. Draconis is actually going to be taking a lot of damage. The Root not going to be coming in just yet from Keeper of the Force. He needs to drop that Root real soon here. They're able to catch it, and Draconis is taking a lot of damage. Draconis is going to be going down. Draconis has buyback available. No, he does not. And now these Rax are in some serious trouble. With so much going on right there, there was actually not that much going on. Buyback onto Rally. He's going to come in right there. Nice Lava Surge. They're going to try to turn it around onto Rally. Magnus is in trouble. Keg finishes him off, and Aluna will be coming back. So that was a buyback on Engineer, not Rally. Dwarves are hard. And so after that, looks like they're going to have to get out of there. Forsaken Archer already used the Energizer. She will be able to get out, though. Not going to be falling just yet. So, man, I feel so bad for TteS. They played that correctly. They got the Dragon. They got the kill. They got pressure on the Rax. They took the tower. They were patient. They just didn't have enough right there. They weren't able to get the correct kills. They weren't able to make sure that Rally stayed down. And now they're going to have a Soul's Bulwark for the next attempt. So that's something that they certainly did need. I actually prefer seeing a Soul's Bulwark earlier than this on the Forsaken Archer. If she'd gotten the Souls instead of an Energizer, perhaps, they might have been able to push down that Rax by now. Who knows? Enzo, currently the top farmer in the game at 459 gold per minute. He's finished up his Geometer's Bane and sitting on another 2,200. So we'll see what he goes for. There it is, Whispering Helm. Personally, I think that if you're going to get one, you should have gotten one a while ago so you can be stacking creeps. But wants to make a transition into a Symbol of Rage a little bit later in the game, so I can respect that. Luna finishes up an Abyssal Skull. Going to be able to give some base damage to all of her teammates, as well as some armor and mana regen. Never a bad item to have, and with the Keeper of the Forest, he's going to get some lifesteal, as well as Magnus. He doesn't do a whole lot of physical damage, but going to be able to get some. Speaking of Magnus, Maravis is the only player on the Legion team to have actually used a buyback. Only 2 buybacks being used in this game, which is kind of almost strange. Both these teams just getting into a few team fights, but not a whole lot of people dying, and not a whole lot of important people dying. As I think I just saw a green triangle picked up, a Void Talisman. Let's take a look at the bird. Yes, a Void Talisman for Magnus, and a Homecoming Stone, about as important. With that Void Talisman, he will be able to stand tall against Rally and the Dragon. Not have to worry so much about the physical damage that's coming out when he does go in for these big lava surges. Soul's Bulwark that Keeper of the Forest has picked up, we'll be turning that into a Demonic Breastplate when he has the money. It's about 1,500 off at this point from being able to finish that up, and that will of course be an extremely nice item to have. Tempest saving up some money for buyback, as Tree's going to be in some trouble. Oh, Keeper of the Forest is able to walk in there. They still have no vision. There's Rev Wards down in this location. Are they going to be going in right here? Actually, they might try to jump the Dragon. Oh, Dragon could be in some serious trouble right here. Lava Surge. It does connect right there. Glacial Blast going to be coming out. There's the Emerald Lightning. And Tree not going to be using the ult yet. Shrunken Head goes down. Barrier Idol goes up. Forsaken Archer trying to get away, and we'll be able to put out some serious damage onto a lot of these players. Another big Lava Surge. Rally's going to be taking this one. There's the Root catching 4 players. Shrunken Head being activated. Dragon in the background. Rally's going to be taking the fall. No buyback just yet on Rally, as Tempest is in the front lines. There's the Elemental Void. Pin's coming in, and there's a huge Lava Surge eruption. Magnus just got the play of the game. Rally, the only player left alive right now. Another buyback coming in, this time from Draconis. Engineer is still up. And so now they're going to be able to put some pressure onto the racks once again. Nobody down from the TteS team just yet. They're able to take the tower in the bottom lane. The middle lane taking pressure from minions. But the buyback from Draconis able to save the tower for now, or able to save the racks from now. In the middle lane though, not in the bottom lane. Those ones are gone, and Draconis is simply not going to be able to hold this by himself. Melee racks in the middle go down. Power throws making sure to take down those creeps. The ranged racks go down as well. 2 sets of racks down. 39 minutes into this game. TteS is looking really strong. Top tower now taking some pressure as well, with all 5 players still up. They might be able to get mega creeps before Rally is back up, and before this TteS or the tdM team is able to fight once more. And in fact, it looks like they will be able to. Range Track's going to be dropping so fast. That goes down. Mega creeps, GG well playeds come out, and that's it. tdM gives up game 1. And TT Esports, right now, a vast underdog, losing their carry player recently to Stay Green. They are huge underdogs in this series, but they took game 1 right there. They were down early, but they took a lead, and they did not give it up. Played it perfectly. I have mad respect for TteS after seeing the discipline of their players in that game. So let's see if they can do it in game 2. Will they be able to close out tdM and knock tdM into the losers bracket for the first time in HoN Tour? I don't know. We'll have to see. Guys, come right back. We have TteS versus tdM. Game 2 coming up. Is tdM going to come back, or are they going to be falling into the losers bracket? We'll see. Don't go anywhere. This is coLcast with Beef and HoN Tour. Huge shout out to Complexity Gaming for allowing coLcast to happen, and to the sponsors Sound Blaster, Origin, QPad, PNY, G8 brand, and Twitch. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Guys, we'll be back in just a moment with game number 2.